In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can blur out the background from this image into this. As you can see, the background is blurred out and everything is done in Photoshop. Let's go into the tutorial. So I'm going to delete this layer I created already, and I'm going to do step by step. I'm going to edit step by step. So the first thing you have to understand is that you're working with the background and the subject. So you're going to separate the subject from the background. As you're separating the subject from the background, you're going to first select the subject itself. So we press Ctrl J or duplicate layer. When you duplicate layer, you get the background copy. Get the background copy, there is something in Photoshop. You go into this toolbar and select. After selecting select, go into subject. When you press subject, it will automatically select the subject itself. You wait for some time. My computer is a bit slow, but maybe yours will be a bit faster. So you select, the Photoshop will automatically select the subject. Yeah, sorry about the delay. It should be very fast. I don't know why it's not working out. Yeah, now you select the subject, but this selection is a bit harsh. It is a bit rough. It's a bit coarse. So we are going to do a fine selection. You go into the quick selection tool. You minimize its size. You lower its size. So you can use the bracket keys on your keyboard to minimize, or you can go here into the size and say size. You select anything, or you can minimize it with the brackets. So we go into selection and you press alternative. You're working with the background. You're trying to deselect the background. So you press alternative and then go on with your, I'm using a mouse. You select here. You go on deselecting the background. I'm pressing out by moving my mouse. You're selecting the background. You're selecting the background. I'll be doing a full tutorial about how you can quickly select your subject. So continue doing some fine selection. I'll be doing a quick tutorial about how you can properly select your hair, but in this video I'm trying to show you how you can blur the background. So by the selection part, we shall see that in the next few episodes. So you select the subject. Select the subject with the quick selection. Make sure it's fine. Look into the details. You deselect here. That's fine. You minimize the errors in your selection. This is not going to be a perfect selection, but it will be good to help. You can press Q for the quick mask. With the quick mask, you'll be using a brush to select. I have my mouth, but for those who have you select, you rub here. While you're brushing here, this is your selection. When you press alternative while doing it, you can you select. This is going to be a selection. When you change the colors, you'll be able to rub. So you see that is a quick mask. Whereas there is red, that is the background. So you can go on and continue rubbing where you didn't select and you want to. So you perfect. Go on perfecting. So when you press Q, you'll have selected your subject. So after selecting your subject, press Ctrl J or press this and you right click and say layer via copy. So layer via copy, you will be having your subject on a blank layer, but we have not deleted our other layers. So you go onto this layer 1, the subject only layer, and then you increase and you just select. It will select the subject alone because in this layer we only have the subject. So subject alone is selected. After doing that, go into the background copy layer and go into select and then choose modify. When you choose modify, choose expand. By expanding, you're going to be expanding the selection you've made. You expand. I will expand by 20. So when you expand by 20, you have something like this onto this. So when you have something like this, let's first make this invisible, our layer 1, and then go into right click and save fill. When you save fill, make sure there is content aware, normal, and 100% opacity, and you press OK. Pressing OK, Photoshop is going to delete the subject from this layer. So Photoshop is going to delete the subject from this layer. So my computer is a bit slow, but we are deleting the subject. So as you can see, the subject is nowhere to be seen. This is just a blank background. So we have the subject alone and we have the background alone. So we are going to be dealing with 2 layers, the subject alone and the background alone. That would be good. Now we are going to be blurring the background. So you choose the background copy layer, but I'm going to be leaving this layer 1 or the subject visible. So you go into filter, you go into blur. In blur, there is lots of blur: average blur, blur mode, box blur, Gaussian blur to surface blur, lots of them. In blur gallery, there is field blur, iris blur, tilt shift, path blur, and spin blur. I'll be doing a video of individual blur and how it works. So usually I use the field blur myself. I use this field blur. So you choose field blur. When you choose field blur, you'll be able to increase and decrease the intensity of that blur. So I increase. So if you increase, you see now it's almost like she's in an open space. This is so unreal. So we reduce to something like 40%. I think 40% is okay. It depends on your preference. You can be wanting something small like 18, 20, 50. Some people even use 70. So I'll be choosing 40, between 40 and 50. So let me go with 45. So I'll choose something like 45. I press OK. So when you go into OK, Photoshop will work out itself. So you see, we have gone from this to this. When you look closely, we have gone from this to this, this to this. So this is how you can blur your background. Most times I use some effects to enhance the background after the blur. Sometimes I create some layers and I get my brush, I pick white. Yes, I pick white. I increase my brush size. I put something like that. You see, at 16% opacity, put something like that. Then after that, I go into black. I choose something yellowish. I make sure then I reduce the size and I put something like that, the yellowish. So, and then I press Ctrl T and bring it up to here. Yeah, so you can see the before and after. Sometimes I control the blending mode to something like soft light, so the before and the after. There is something I can even reduce the opacity to something like 60%. There is a minimal difference. sometimes it creates some drama. I'll be doing a video about that maybe sometime later. So this video has been about how you can what blur out your background from this to this. Thank you for watching. Let me hope you will be watching other more videos on my channel.